New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2021 and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nichelle and I am an aspiring author. So we finally made it out of 2020 and that is a wonderful thing and I'm so happy to celebrate it. Of course, going into 2020 does not get rid of all of the problems that we've had. So I do encourage you all to keep being safe. Please wear your mask. And let's just remain a community during this difficult time. But we still have something to celebrate. We have a brand new year full of opportunities and change. So my 2021 looks way different than I thought it would be even just 2 months ago. I was originally projected to graduate in December 2021, and because of credits, I am actually graduating in May. So I am starting off my life a lot earlier than I had thought, and I am so excited to get out there into the quote-unquote real world. I have lots of big plans and I am so excited to share them with you guys. Before we begin with my writing and reading and just creative goals in general, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to check out my blog and website, that's at nichelletayler.com, and you can subscribe there for bi-monthly newsletters, bi-monthly blog posts, exclusive information about my memoir project. I'm just really excited to share that with you guys. Now that I'm done with my little spiel, let's get into my creative goals for 2021. So my first creative goal is actually not writing or reading related. My first goal for 2021 is to complete 5 creative hands-on projects. So I'm really excited to do that. That will get me out of my comfort zone and stimulate some creativity out of me that's not just on the computer and not just on a page. Though that's my preferred form of creativity, I think that there's a lot of good that can come out of doing hands-on work. So I'm really excited to try that. My second goal for 2021 is to read 40 books. I ended up finishing out this year reading 39 books. And my original goal, as I said in last week's video, was 10. I significantly surpassed it, and what I decided for 2021, since I did a lot of reading, a lot more than I had been for the previous 2 years, I would just increase the book number by 1. So I read 39, next year I'm going to read 40. Hopefully I surpass that, and then we'll just see what happens for the next year, but I'm going to go for 40 books in 2021. The rest of these goals are all writing related, and some of them are fiction and some of them are memoir. So to go with my memoir project first, my biggest #1 writing goal of the year, what's going to take the most priority, is actually going to be preparing my memoir manuscript for querying. I'm not planning to start querying in 2021. I want to spend the year polishing, reflecting, actually digging into what this memoir is supposed to be. I've shared a little bit about the memoir here. I plan on having way more content this next year because one of my challenges to myself is to be more comfortable sharing that information. And if I'm going to be trying to publish a memoir, I have to be more open about the content of it. So you guys are going to keep me accountable there as well as on that blog and website. I'm going to be sharing information that I haven't really shared with other people. So this year is going to be reflection. In March, it's the 10-year anniversary of my freak accident happening. So 10 years, I think that it's about time that I actually figure out the role that this is going to play in my life. And I'm going to spend the whole year dedicating time to my memoir and preparing it, polishing it, reflecting. So by the end of 2021, I want to be ready to query. Okay, so this next goal is actually a little bit more mental health, but it totally goes along with my memoir. I took a memoir webinar earlier this year from Allison K. Williams. I found so much helpful information in her memoir, and one of the biggest things that stuck out to me was, how do you know when your story is over? And for me, especially because mental health and trauma, PTSD, that's not stuff that can just be fixed. It's not something that goes away immediately, and it might not ever. For me, I have a pretty clear understanding of how much it affects me, and I don't imagine it's going to be something that goes away probably ever. It's going to be around for a long time, and it's not something that I want to go away either. It's a very complicated relationship. But anyway, to get back on topic, if you're in the middle of your story, if you're still in the middle of healing, which for me, I think it's going to be a long healing process, how do you find the end of your story? And one of the things that really inspired me that Allison K. Williams said is write an imaginary final chapter. Figure out what the perfect end to your story is, and then take the steps to get there in real life. And I was like really blown away by this. I had to take a couple of days to process and figure out what is my final chapter. And you know what? I haven't figured it out yet. So my fourth goal for the year is to figure out the imaginary final chapter and make a plan on how to get there. So that is my number 4. That'll help me with actually completing the memoir, but also it will help mental health wise getting on with my life, figuring out a purpose, making what happened to me a tool for my life, if that makes sense. Number 5 is actually kind of a combined goal. It's a little bit more vague because I don't quite know what's going to happen with it. Double Vision 2, I was really hoping to finish the manuscript, the first draft of the manuscript, by the end of the year. That didn't happen, but that's okay. So what I figured out is that while writing Double Vision 2, I found that I have a lot of plot holes in Double Vision, the first one, and they probably wouldn't have happened if I hadn't written the second one. So I have to go back in and rewrite things. I need to come up with strict rules for magic because I broke them in the second one. I have to figure out what I want to change. And that goes for my True Power manuscript as well. You guys don't really know much about it. I wrote it before I started my YouTube channel. I wrote it back in 2019 and it's not the best. It definitely needs some work. And basically I really like the premise, but I don't like the plot. I want to, with all 3, Double Vision 2, and then True Power, I want to define all of the changes that I feel like would make the manuscript better. And once I do that, then I will have kind of an understanding of where I want to go from here with my fiction. So that is the plan, is just to figure out changes and work on it as I see fit. That's why I'm leaving it pretty vague. I don't want to say I'm going to finish the changes of Double Vision. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to be adaptable this year. I'm going to be adaptable to whatever my creativity takes for me. I think the most important thing is working on my memoir. And number 6 is kind of the most exciting one, is to start working on a new manuscript. Again, I don't want to finish it. I don't want to set an end goal. I just want to start writing a new manuscript. I already have a big bunch of ideas that I'm going to document with you guys, show how I plot a book and outline it. I'm really excited about this one. It's going to have some research for me, which is always really fun. And I'm going to learn more about what I want my fiction to do, what I want my magical worlds to bring to me. That's going to be my 6th goal, is to just start a new manuscript. My last 2 goals are not so much in the realm of noveling. It's more about just making sure I'm keeping my creativity up to speed. I want to continue to write short stories and poetry. I've been taking classes that enable me to just kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I can write short stories for my classes and I can write poetry for my classes. Once I graduate, there's going to be nothing that really requires that I do that. It's all going to be up to me. And I don't want to lose that because it does help me. It helps me to realize what needs to be shortened if I'm writing a short story. Poetry has really helped me create images and realize certain feelings that I've had that I didn't realize were still inside. So my goal is to write 4 short stories and 6 poems. So they might seem weird. I just decided to pick a number because that'll help me stay on top of it. 4 short stories, that's 1 every 3 months. I feel like I can handle that. And then poetry, that's 1 every 2 months. I feel like I can handle that too. Those are my goals for 2021, and I'm super, super excited. I think that for me, this year is going to be full of growth, and that is the most important thing to me right now, is finding that place where I'm me. And I think that my writing is what's going to take me there. I just need to open up and let myself be free to do that. And I think the key was making these vague goals, but finding priorities within them. I hope that that makes sense, but that's the kind of the route that I went. I'm really interested to hear what your goals are for 2021. So in the comments, please let me know what your number one goal for 2021 is. It could be about writing, could be reading, could be creative, it could be mental health. I am really excited to talk to you guys more about mental health. I think that it's something really important, especially in writing. It's not always talked about. And I think that it definitely needs to. I think it has a place where we can talk about it. I hope that you all feel comfortable talking to me about mental health. I'm always here to listen and connect in the comments and everything. So let me know what your goals are, no matter what they are. I'm so excited to hear. Also, if you have any suggestions for content for 2021, please let me know that as well. I hope that you all have a wonderful and safe new year, and I'll see you next week on Friday.